Well, oh my goodness. How do we do this? Wait a second. Wait a second. Maybe this one? I think it's live. Okay. Hi, everyone. Many, many love and blessings. Well, hold on one second. Where's your phone? There it is. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm live because my screen is completely dark in the little box. So if you guys can see me, just throw a thumbs up. This way I know. We were supposed to do the podcast with Jeff Morrow tonight, and it's at 9:00 p.m. Nancy, if you can see me, throw a smile face or a heads up. This way I know you guys can see me. Maybe I'll type in a text. Melissa, can you see me? Let me see. Okay. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so I figured I had a really interesting post come out today while I was doing my walk. So I would actually love to read that for you guys. Let me see. Okay, perfect. Hi, everybody. Okay. So let's see. We are going to start off by just ever so gently saying, thank you, dear star people, for channeling with us tonight. And thank you for bringing forth the most in alignment knowledge for the people who are watching today. And thank you so incredibly much for bringing forward energetic frequencies that can help each of us to go through the current shift that we're all experiencing. So we just want to say thank you, dear star people, for recalibrating each of us. And thank you so incredibly much for loving us and for always showing up for us. So here by my house, it's thunder and lightning. And it's like I could feel the energy in the air. It's like, it's amazing. But let me read the post for you guys, because this I thought was just spectacular. It's like what everybody needs to know. So it's called Kundalini Channel Activations. The Kundalini channels, when activated, may allow two of the channels to blend into one vortex system. This appears very similar to a DNA spiral, yet is slightly different in the angular orientation. So we have 4 Kundalini channels inside of the body that are connected to the elementals. So we have earth on the left, air on the front of the body. We have fire on the right-hand side. That's your chi energetic systems. And you have water is the fluidity systems that's located in the spinal cord. These 4 elementals connect to the Kundalini channels. Now, these channels are only in this position for this body in this waking world in a human. So if we are having a look at a different extraterrestrial life, or even like an aquafarian, like a mermaid, the water channel is going to be front and center because that's where they are breathing. That's where they're taking in the life code frequency of the simulation. So this way we're aware. The Kundalini channels, that's the way they're situated in our bodies. Now it says there are 4 elemental Kundalini channels that may be activated into 2 individual vortexes, then allowing both vortices to spiral together, allowing all 4 quadrants to activate coherent energetics. So just imagine we have earth and we have air. Those 2 usually band together first. I hold on one second because I just have to start TikTok. I didn't prepare for a live. If you guys notice, it's so funny. Okay, we'll just throw TikTok up real quick. Okay, so we have the earth and the air Kundalini channels. They usually band together And we have the fire and the water usually band together. Those two form their own two DNA spirals flowing up and down the biological form. But then what they do is they come together and they form for that spiral. Now, this is very important because this is the way the Merkaba field flows. So don't forget, we also have two Kundalini channels directly in the center of the body. One is light ether surrounded by dark ether. That makes 6 total that we can see right now in this particular density. Now, of course, the Kundalini channels, they're flowing up and they're flowing down. Depending on the density levels that we hold, or depending on the way the veil system is going to be flowing the light through these Kundalini channels. Okay. Now that we got that, the earth elemental is magnetic in its nature and connects into colder frequencies. You may take notice to individuals utilizing different breath modalities and submerging into cold temperature baths. Right, Melissa? The fire and water channels also blend quite easily, for the biological form releases water when the temperature is raised, so we sweat. Opposites attract in this type of energetic union, yet advanced metaphysical practices may allow for any combination to be cast into the simulation. So advanced metaphysical practices are someone who has mastered taking these Kundalini channels and activating 2 of them into one or blending them. Once you have mastered this ability, the next one would be fire and ice abilities. And that's when you're taking the hot and the cold, and that really is when you can achieve anti-gravity or levitation, may soon embody inside your physical material when you learn the fire and ice blending modality. Okay. When all 4 Kundalini channels are actively rotating, it automatically allows for the Merkaba field to counter-rotate its spin. So a Merkaba field is a triangle up and a triangle down, and they counter-rotate, which means they're going in either direction. When we activate the Kundalini channel systems, it allows for these spirals that kind of resemble a DNA, but they're a little different, and then they start a process of counter-rotation. This is a very advanced modality to activate. And if you do it correctly, if you really place your focus and attention on doing it, you can activate the rainbow body of light very rapidly. The star people have instructed us. The crown neurons shall activate with this alignment and allow for a light energetic tubule to form above the head. This resembles a halo in the energetic field. So the crown, what is it called? The crown neurons. We have a band of neurons that goes completely around the brain. Now, during different forms of meditation, we can actually activate them. What it feels like is it feels like there's a pressure going around the entire center of your brain, or the outer layer of your brain, kind of like you're holding your hand there. That's what it feels like. A lot of the times when we start to notice the band of neurons is activated, your heart chakra should also be active and flowered open. And then you could place focus on activating the pineal gland, because the pineal gland, when that flowers open, it grants access into seeing into the lucidity or astral realms. So when the pineal gland flowers open, this is something we can actually see the physical gland do. It looks like a pine cone, and sometimes the pine cone needles, they open to allow the seeds out. The pineal gland does the same exact thing, which is very important because it's a real biological effect that we're going to see inside. And when the pineal gland flexes and opens, it actually allows for light to be held inside of the body. We can see this under different types of human-based technologies, in which they have placed people into the machine who have been in deep trances or meditation, and then they see that the entire inside of the body gets filled with light. So when you close the physical eyes, the astral eye shall open. And you only need one eye for the astral realm, because that one eye, it's actually a form of casting when you're in the astral realms, because the imagination in the childlike mind fully activates and takes place, which then in turn allows you to dream the dream as you are in the dream. So you are the one creating the dream. And then, because we are focused on a time space frequency here in the physical reality, we dream the dream, and then the dream encodes our magnetics. And when we awaken from the dream, it allows that dream magnetically to manifest any and all experientials into our current physical reality, which allows us the perception of, I saw that in a dream, and now here it is in the real world. That's how those abilities start to open and expand for us. However, many of us already are consciously aware that our dreams hold some type of symbology. Now, from a human perspective, we chalk it off and we say, well, the mind knows something that I wasn't aware of, because your subconscious mind is truly picking up to all information that you experience. Every single bit of information is stored in the subconscious mind. So if you're walking down the street in New York City, your subconscious mind sees the entire image. It picks up every license plate, everyone's dressed, or what clothes they're wearing, what words you hear as you're walking, all of the words, images, logos, everything that you see. Your subconscious mind stores all of that knowledge. Now, what I'm telling you guys is, through this technique of actively activating your Kundalini channels and fully activating your energy field, there is a process in which your subconscious mind also becomes actively available for the ego self, in which any and all memory is then downloaded in the now moment, allowing full access into any and all memories you have experienced in your current lifetime. So what that looks like is, it basically is like a super genius, or you become limitless, really is what it is, because now all information of your entire life, going right back down to the second of conception. The second of conception is the moment where there's a combination of the material, but then there's a light that radiates off that ball of cells. And in that moment, that flash of light is known as your binary codex frequency. Now, inside the crystalline core of Mother Earth, every single light spark, that means every single frequency, has been stored in there. This way, that frequency being stored there allows us to come to ground into Mother Earth. And you do not have to necessarily be foot to earth to do this, because if it's winter time, there's a lot of different meditations and techniques we can use to ground to her energy without having to leave the comfort of our homes. Yes, I'm telling you this because it's all a simulation anyway. And with the power of the human mind, we are able to readily generate energetic cords, which then connect us to the grids of Mother Earth. And Mother Earth is always available to heal any one of us, which is beautiful. Okay, let me see, because the last paragraph was like really important. Okay. The two center Kundalini channels will also rotate during full activation, allowing the higher self to fully take the seat inside of the heart subsystems. When the light and shade veils are properly aligned, this activation is manifest. It shall allow for full rainbow body of light to activate, thus allowing a higher perspective of consciousness to be held inside the 0 point of each individual's heart. Now, the 0 point, there's tachyon particles located inside of our hearts. Those tachyon particles directly connect us to the higher self, which makes us connected in through all time and all space, because the tachyon particles, they're above time and space. So that right there shows us exactly what the star people have been telling us. Your emotions control your awareness or perception of time and space. This is how the system works. The star people call this a 0 point. That 0 point is a little space inside of your heart that you can go in, and you can start to make recalibrations to not only your energetic grids, but you can recalibrate any densities, any distortions, which then generate reflections into the physical reality. Now, we have to coax or manifest heaven on earth to a degree. For the more and more we are able to go inward, and we are able to hold happy, spontaneous emotions or feelings, we are able to then resonate that higher frequency out to the physical reality. This is a reason why all of you guys show up And that's because we're all holding higher frequencies. We're all one tribe, one organism. And so when the light workers all start, and the star seeds, when we all start coming together, we are naturally holding higher frequencies because we are aware. We're aware of the spiritual knowledge. We're aware that, oh, there's more than we've been told. There's more here in this waking world than we are experiencing right now. And now we're stepping into the knowledge of here's how to activate it. Here's the actual linear steps for how to go about the process of ascension. Now, we don't need the linear steps because the truth is we could just drop right into the heart and we can heal everything and spontaneously manifest a healing. Some monks on the planet have already been doing that. They go into the caves and they meditate. And when they meditate, they are sending love and light to all of the trauma, all of their darkness, and then they're healing all of that. While they're doing that, though, they are surrounded by other happy monks who are also focused on love and blessings. Now, we're in the real world, so we have to deal with traffic and all sorts of things. Now, because our reflections are different than just being in pure isolation, it gives us the opportunity to broadcast a lighter frequency into the reality, which then we may see shifting into the other people, places, and things outside of us. It is absolutely a beautiful time to be here. Now, the Kundalini energetics is key because when we start to come inward, all of the attachment clearing sessions that we do, there's always locations. And so we'll start pulling the attachments off of people. And then all of a sudden they'll make a comment. Oh, my elbow, my shoulder, my here, my there. Okay. So what side of the body is it on? If it's on the left-hand side of the body, then that's the earth channel that's connected to your magnetics. It's your feminine energetic systems. If it's on the right side, then that's your chi energetic systems. It's connected to your fire elemental. If it's in the front of your body, that's something that is current. You're currently going through it, or it's in front of you. That's connected to the air. So many times people who have experienced heart traumas, the heart trauma that's current, it's in the front, so it may affect your breathing. If anyone's ever been has a heart trauma from the past, it would be located in the back. Now, the back of the heart chakra system, it flowers and pokes and it generates a safe spot. And this is how the cycle repeats are formed. So we recognize that every single experience that we go through, whether they be darkness or light, there is a type of safe spot. And there is also a type of cycle repeat that re-manifests into our physical reality. Now, a cycle repeat comes up to give us the opportunity to change the frequency of that experience, thus allowing us to raise our frequency and to overcome our traumas. This is the way the system works because the heart chakra takes that energy and it's like a very fearful energy will actually, bam, imprint the rear of the heart chakra. Now, what happens is it's sending a type of energetic out that hits into the black hole system and it generates a safe spot. That safe spot then has to be cleared because you can't leave a safe spot there. It's forming densities in the energetic grid structures, which then in turn allows for that cycle repeat to become manifest into your current reality, dear ones. Now, when each trauma is focused on, it shall then allow for a transmutation of any darkness, any densities inside the energetic grids. When that darkness or that veil is lifted, it shall change the focus and perception of your current reality experienced. That focus and attention shall then shift people, places, and things outside of your biological form, which shall then start the opportunity for each individual to learn to summon different emotion codings and then take full control of their current reality experiences. Each of you has an energetic net. This is the energetic grid structures. It is located underneath the skin. This energetic net controls all emotions in your reality. When an emotion or a regular frequency is held or embodied, it shall then pull on this net as a source of describing it. It is not actually a pull, it is more of a trigger, which is why many individuals say you've been triggered when you get emotional. Each crystal is also generating a frequency. That frequency also triggers this net system. When different experientials become available for you, your net system is going to have a wide variety of different emotion codes running and triggering it all at once. For each experiential is a combination of multiple emotion codes. Beautiful. Thank you, star people. So when we hold each and every crystal, it will allow different shifts. And we know this because we feel it underneath the body. We feel these different shifts. We feel the energy pulling. Sometimes when I first held my very, very first piece of quartz, I felt a complete Kundalini activation or discharge. It was like, shoo, and I went right up the top of my head. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, what was that? What just happened? I just picked up a rock. Yeah, right. Everyone, do we remember what it was like years ago when we went through the beginning stages? Yeah, it was just totally beautiful. But that experience led me down the path of, well, what just happened? Because I know what I felt. I know I felt something. I know something happened. And then years after, I came across another individual who was going through a type of healing modality of their own. And I put a piece of quartz in that person's hand, and they felt the same thing. That's when I knew, okay, the energetic grids are imbalanced, and then the piece of quartz is it's pulling the grid and bringing it back into alignment. Now, any time that we are having an emotional experience manifest, that's the only way to really describe it. When we're having a distortion, maybe a cold, anything funky going on, we'll be naturally drawn to a crystal because that crystal contains a frequency, and the way the crystal works is it triggers that net so that it activates a new frequency code. This is why it's high value to carry the crystal for like 2 or 3 days, so your body and the net can actually absorb the new frequency, and then it can start to radiate the new frequency outwards so that you're able to hold it. Now, another reason why they say all healing is self-healing is because we can sit here, even the Reiki healers do this naturally. We can cast love and light into your energy grids, but if you are not able to hold the new frequency coding, within 3 days it reverts right back to the old frequency coding. So the reason of this is because there's density in the energy grids. So the grids can also be considered a little bit out in the space of the body because they all work together. It's the same system. However, when you are holding darkness and density in the energetic grids, it allows for the attachments to latch on through those little vortexes in the outer field. However, that darkness and that density, it then starts a process of reverting the inner net so that that blockage is still there. So holding the crystal for 3 days usually will start to rebalance the system so that you're able to overcome that emotion code. Everything is an emotion code. So whether we're happy, whether we're sad, whatever it is that we're manifesting requires an emotion code. Right down to walking down the street. How did the air smell? How did you feel with your feet in your shoes? How did your clothes feel? So these are all different feelings. They're all different senses. Every single sense is an emotion code. The earth, it holds magnetics. Magnetics control the emotion codes, for the heart is magnetic in its nature. The more and more we start to just have the awareness, okay, this is how my system works. And a little bit of focus and attention is going to allow this to expand into my reality. And then all of a sudden, when we start to activate all these different things, we are going to see magic on this world. I've been doing manifestations for this for years. I'm like so excited. All right. Okay. Let me take a sip. Beautiful. Okay, let's see, because I had a couple really good posts come out in the past couple of days. So let's read another one and see what other topics. Okay. Let me see. Let's do the air elemental. I did the air and earth so far. So the earth one I didn't read to you guys, but I wrote it out. The air elemental Kundalini channel system. During this type of breathwork meditation, the primary individual may energetically ground to Mother Earth, allowing the electrical systems to form alignments and bonding with the air elemental. With each breath taken, visualization of a light blue air energy pulling into the air Kundalini channel system shall allow for a type of energetic bonding to facilitate. So your air channel is in the front. This is where we breathe. Okay. This system is located in the front of the internal energetic grid and within the body. Once fully activated, it allows the air Kundalini channel to hold more light in the stream, which allows for fine attunement air bending abilities to manifest. It is well known among the cosmos, you must feel the breath of your mother planet in order to make modifications to the flow of air perceived in your world. The air elemental also contains ether, which is energetic in its nature. Your ether is connected to the thought grids of your individual light stream, as well as Mother Earth's collective consciousness grids. Therefore, the ether is bringing life to the biological form and allowing the primary individual access to the planetary knowledge or book of records. All life forms, being a unit of thought or consciousness, must access the planetary book of knowledge in order to express the individual reality in a physical state of being. So what they're basically saying, right, it's the throat chakra. What they're basically referring to is that the air that we breathe, whether we're breathing in air or whether we are being in the water, breathing in the ocean and filtering out the air from the ocean, that air contains the ether. The ether is energetic. That is the source frequency is made of ether. However, because the air here is down on Mother Earth, that ether is also getting encoded by Mother Earth herself. So just think about it. The air that you breathe, it contains knowledge. It contains subatomic particles that come from Mother Earth. They've noticed that sand from the Kalahari has floated across the ocean and they found it on the other side. So if they're able to take sand particles from the air, now we are going outside and we are breathing that air in. That's knowledge. That's information. Now we have to have an attunement in the air Kundalini channel, which star people call a resonance. That resonance allows us to incarnate on the planet, because if your body is not properly attuned to breathe the air on the planet, which happens in some newborns, we may have just one second. It is a type of experience that may take place when the individual is not properly in alignment. We're going to skip that topic. However, you do need to have the proper attunement for the air elemental in order to be allowed access onto the planet that you are incarnate into. Okay, let's see. Therefore, the ether is bringing life to the biological form and allowing the primary individual access into the planetary knowledge or book of records. All life forms, being a unit of thought or consciousness, must access the planetary book of knowledge in order to express the individual reality in a physical state of being. A level 1 attunement to this ability may include summoning a light breeze into your current reality. Yet there are many advanced abilities that may utilize the air elemental. For each element also works in combination together with a secondary element and shall produce different manifestations when bonded properly. So we know that we need air in order to fuel the fire. So those two elements may also be willed together because without one, you don't have the other. So we can see that the Kundalini channels are connected to this elemental. And when we start the process of working with them, we start to see different manifestations that come to us. On other planetary systems, the air veil lens may hold a different resonance pattern. This allows for different expressions of the breath of life elemental to form in the simulation. That's like breathing water. In time, the shapeshifter ability is also very real. So in time, we learn the Kundalini channels first, and then we learn how to rotate them. And when we rotate them, so let's say, for an example, you take the water and you put it up front. Now, all of a sudden, your body is set up so that your physical material is going to start to shapeshift into a being who has to ingest or breathe water in. That's what happens when we start shifting the Kundalini channels around. Don't shift the Kundalini channels around until you're ready for that type of expression to come, because just don't do it. Trust me. The breath of life allows access into the current world expressed, and without it, one may cease to exist. The breath may be of any resonance, but is primarily held by the third density forms and used for access into the simulation reality codings. So these are for a 3D perspective. So the 3D perspective really allows us to be here within the confinements of time and space. Now, when you start touching into 4D frequencies, is that really air that you're breathing becomes the question, because now you can override time and space by allowing for any instantaneous manifestations inside the physical body. That's how the system works. We're going to really quickly do an Om. Okay, so if everybody can take a deep breath in. Allow an emotional frequency of unconditional love to fully wash through your bodies. And one more deep breath in. Beautiful. Okay. You guys have any questions? Okay, my son has not been able to do deep breathing. He gets stuck in shallow breaths. There has to be a heart chakra blockage happening there, because anytime that we see the heart chakra, it spins. So it goes like this, but towards the front, and it goes like that toward out the back. So it kind of looks like an X, but it's like this. And so whenever we start to notice that a heart chakra blockage is taking place, that means that the flow of the energetic is being pulled too much towards the back. Remember, I was telling you guys earlier, when we go through a trauma, it imprints the back of the heart chakra. That's how this process works. So when we pull the energy into the heart, it makes it so it's like, and you can't breathe. That's what that is. Hold on one second. Okay. It's like a throat chakra thing. I used to have like a blue crystal I would whooshy around my throat. Can't make this up. This is what it feels like when we touch into each other's grids. If someone has any density or distortion in there, we start to feel it very rapidly. That must be the rapid heart rate and panic. He gets confused for his asthma. Yes. So that's exactly what that is. So a very rapid heart rate, it comes with anxiety because it's affecting the upper chest. So what he would have to do is deep meditations. Really sit down and start to, it's okay, and go into the traumas. He has to do this. Nobody else can do it. Go into the traumas and then release it one at a time. So a lot of times when we go into the trauma, we tell ourselves, I forgive myself for the emotion code. And then say the word release after you speak the emotion code. So the word release is going to release any attachments from the energetic grids. However, when we forgive ourselves, forgiveness is what clears the energetic imprints off the biological form. So just imagine we can energetically imprint the cells inside of our body because all the cells contain a degree of water inside of it. So when we start the process of imprinting, it allows for any emotion code, even an experiential, may then be consciously directed and cast at any item, person, place, or thing in your current simulation, dear ones. Now, the process of energetic imprinting can be something as simple as you are healthy, you are happy, you are loved, but really opening and expanding the heart chakra and allowing the emotion to guide the thought form into whatever it is that you're trying to imprint. So many times you have to feel the love, and then when you send it at something, it gets sent to it. Now we can see this happen inside of water when you take water and you speak a word over it. However, they've also taken images and placed the image by the water and flash froze it, and then the image forms in the snowflake. So all thought forms become encoded in water. Your memory comes from the heart. The heart flows water inside of it, or liquid. The blood is fluid. So that heart is it's like a filtration. It's not a filtration, the star people say. It's not a pump, it pushes. So it is allowing an imprinting of all of the fluid inside of the physical form, which then in turn allows that fluid to, in time, radiate into all of the cells inside of the body, thus allowing for an imprinting process to occur naturally inside your form. Now, what I'm telling you is extreme emotions generate the imprinting process very rapidly. This is why when people are sad or depressed, they get sick very rapidly because they're holding on to extreme emotions. We have to go through and we have to rebalance every single emotion into a neutral polarity, dear ones. However, we do wish to identify a question very rapidly. The process of oming allows for the heart chakra to open and expand in each of us, allowing a divine frequency of unconditional love to radiate directly from the higher self through the heart, allowing the transmission to be of a higher frequency caliber. We wish for each of you to om anytime you feel distress or anxiety. You may also witness placing your hand over your heart and feeling a vibration in your hand during the process of oming. There is also a gland in the roof of your mouth. This is why infants suck their thumb. That gland stimulates brain cohesion. The process of oming shall stimulate that gland as well as stimulating your heart and your heart energetic grids, thus allowing for you to start a process of becoming in alignment with your higher self. Beautiful. Thank you, dear star people. Okay. It's been happening to me lately with the throat chakra, Nancy. So you probably have to clear your throat chakra, do some ohms, and then really any throat chakra imbalances that we feel, we always want to dive into suppression, not being able to talk, over talking. So what emotion codes do you normally see people who have blockages in their communication? Sometimes people, they won't be able to read or write, or they'll have slurred speech, or any type of imbalances in the jaw and the mouth line, in the throat, even in the upper area of the chest. We go into this entire throat chakra, and this is the area. It's about, oh, and the star people are saying even the ears, because that's a form of communication. Yeah, it's amazing. See, I love to ohm every day. That's absolutely beautiful. Okay, nitric oxide increases in the body with the ohm. Just read about that today. Very good. Well, we are discussing the air elemental and utilizing different breathwork techniques and then hopping in an ice bath. So this is what I've been doing with one of my friends. And we've been doing it on the cell phone. It's like, oh, I'm going to do it. You're going to do it. And I've been doing it for about the week. I did it last summer, but now I started up again. And so, but when you do this, what we're actually doing is we're activating the two Kundalini channels, your air elemental, because I'm doing the breath work, which is 30 deep breaths in and then hold the breath for 1 minute. And then another round, 30 deep breaths, hold the breath for 1.5 minutes. There's a gentleman named Wim Hof. He has videos on YouTube that show and guide you through that process. I just do it so I can get in the bath. And championship mode activated. Right, we did 10 minutes today. It was a good one. But yes, doing that and really diving in deep now, that is known to activate your fight or flight systems. Normally, we wouldn't want to activate the fight or flight systems in the world, but when we're doing it consciously, which means we're in complete control, we're holding the breath. We can take a breath anytime as we see fit. But when we consciously hold the breath, we are then allowing for the fight or flight systems to become activated. And then we are even allowing for the extrasensory abilities to become activated. Now, if you were to hold the breath and after, fully oxygenating your body, then let's say you needed super strength to get up a hill, your body would naturally turn on the epigenetics or the genetic coding that would then manifest the super strength in the now moment. I did this in 2019. I was playing with a dog and we were playing with the rope. He was a very strong dog. There was no way. And I was doing my breath work outside. He wouldn't leave me alone. He was so cute. And so I did the breath work. I'm holding the breath. And then he came up and I went to pull it. And I felt like I had it. And I was like, what? And he was unable to pull it from my hands, which was very unusual. And that was the moment I realized, oh, I just activated something. And so, but we can't stop there. We activate it, do it once, do it again, do it again, do it again, because that's how you learn the emotion codes. Now we are activating because we want to learn, how does it make you feel? How does it feel when you have super strength? Just as an example, how did that make you feel? That feeling is what you want to hold. You have to hold that like it's an emotion code. You have to allow the heart to circulate that frequency throughout your entire body. And then all of a sudden, the more you start penetrating that memory of that emotion, that feeling into all of the cells, you'll start to hold it because you're going to activate the net that's underneath the skin. So that net is everything, because every single experience that we manifest, it comes from that net. The star people have been telling us, your frequency comes down, it radiates out, and then it comes back in. It must hit the net first, which means in order to control the simulation, we have to go inside and we have to control the net. The net is all emotions that we are currently holding on to, as well as choosing to broadcast out. It's genius when you think about it, because it's like, wow, so I could go inside and I could feel. So now just imagine that you're going into a meditation. I find the meditations are maybe easier for a lot of people if we do them in a group. So just imagine we're all laying down on the floor and we have, who's ever leading the meditation come over and tell you, hold the emotion code of this. And let's say, even if they pull a sad emotion code, how does it make you feel? Literally, do you feel any tension, any tightness anywhere in the body? Do you feel the net move, shift? Did you feel anything, inside the body? Did your belly gurgle? What are you individually feeling? Because this is your net that you're working with. I'm working with my own net. So what did you feel inside of the body? Now you could ask for the emotion code. Okay, what emotion was the net encoded to? Many times if we feel it, we can use different like acupuncture charts to identify. Or I know one lady, I don't remember her name, she wrote like 5 books about every single body location and what emotion code got imprinted in each body location. Of course, I don't have the books, right? The one book that looks like, oh, I need it. Hopefully it comes back to me. It will. But every single emotion, it generates, like let's say for an example, it will generate in the face. It will also mark up the hands. It will mark the bottoms of the feet. The rest of the body works with more of the net because we are dealing with a fractal biological form, which means if it's here in your face, it's going to reflect outwards into the rest of the body. This is how the net works. So when we recognize, okay, you have something in your shoulder, that means the net is triggered here. What emotion code is held here? And where does that particular grid radiate outwards? This is also how side effects work. So if you've ever noticed any type of experience where there was a side effect in the body, so like you did this, and now here is the side effects. All of those side effects, they're all different emotion codes. They're all running on the same exact grid, unless there were multiple aspects to whatever it is that you had that generated the side effect, if you kind of understand what that means. So let's take, for an example, a plant, just a plant. We'll pick mint. I don't know anybody who's allergic to mint, but this is just what I picked. You take mint, and let's say the side effect is 5 healthy things, 5 healthy outcomes. One is in the gut, one is in the kidneys, one is here, one is there. So those 5 things that get affected by the mint, that's all one grid, one aspect of the grid. Now, the grid has multiple layers to it because every single experiential touches into the grid at once. And it's like, just imagine that there was a grid over your body and you're touching it, you're pushing it. So this is the way the system works. When we start to push or generate inside of this net with different experiential emotion codes, it then shall allow a form of resonance to fully be embodied, which then start the process of manifestation instantaneously in this day and age, dear ones. For the process of manifestation is going to be affected by any and all current emotions that you are running, or the veil system, which is any densities or distortions that is running in either the energetic grids or the net itself. Now, each and every one of these systems allows us to call forward different experiences. This is also how vision boards work, because when we can identify the power of sight, which is a power, that's a superpower in itself. When we start to visualize different things, you have the ability to imprint the soul form directly, which then in turn, it works the same as a subliminal message. So when you have positive affirmations all over your house, all of a sudden that positivity is going to then radiate into your biological form and imprint the soul tubules, which then starts an even faster process of manifestation. This is why the consciousness is the most important part. It's like, again, release, release. Sometimes this happens. It's absolutely okay. The consciousness is the most important part because it allows for faster manifestations to become in your reality. Now, energetic imprinting is of high value as well, because we already recognize that speaking to the body, is it almost 8? I think it's 9. Melissa, it's 9, right? Hold on one second. I think it's 9. Hold on one second. I'm pretty sure it's 9. Where did they text me? No, it's 8 p.m. Central Time, which is 9 p.m. For everyone watching, I'm going on the Jeff Reynolds podcast at 9. Thank you for reminding me, though. I love that. Absolutely. Okay, it's 9 o'clock. I actually just set an alarm. So funny. Okay, where was I? I don't want to miss I like to show up on time, right? I like to be on time, so it's okay. Where was I? I just got sidetracked. Release. It's fantastic. Just give me 1 second. I have to stop blushing now. Oh, vision boards. Okay. The star people are all laughing. You can just imagine. Okay. It's 7 p.m. in Minnesota. I will be there. I'll be there too. Hopefully I'll be on time. Okay, let's see. Okay, the star people saying, let's take a break. To like go laugh for an hour. Let's take a little break. We'll do an hour, and then in another hour it will be 9, and I will be on the Jeff Morrow podcast. So I put the link up on Facebook. I didn't get an actual link like last time because this is a live stream. So he just said it's a live, it's a video. So I said, sure, I'll be there. He's recording it on Zoom. So it's like real life uncensored today, right? So I posted up, I'm like, we'll be there at 7. No, we won't. It's 9, right? It's lightninging out today. So it's one of the energies in the shift, whatever. Okay, guys, I love you all, and I am sending you many, many love and blessings. Thank you, dear star people, for channeling with us tonight and bringing forward the best. So funny. Okay, guys, you have a great night.